Yes, I did.
Thank you everyone for joining us today at Levittown Public Library's Posture Alignment with Kimberly. Today is Monday, September 12th. Go ahead, Kim.
Thank you, Hitomi. Okay, guys, I'm going to get started. They just gave me the cue. We are recording, but you're not being recorded. They're just recording me through the thing. You guys know. How many of you have been with me before? Once online. How many of you? Okay. How many of you have never been with me in person before, but have seen me on YouTube? So that was the once online. Okay. Let me just go over the basics. The basics are, I don't live in your body. So if something that we do or I instruct you to do doesn't feel right to you, don't do it. If your body, the point of what we're doing here is to relearn how to listen to the signals from our body. Granted, a lot of you came here because pain. There's some pain out there. It's not like, oh, I got this one shoulder lifted up. I look like a hunchback, but that's okay. I feel great. But sometimes I've got one client who did that. He says, I'm totally vain. I don't like how I look. I want to fix my posture. No pain, no nothing. Okay. So with that being said, we're trying to understand what the signals that your body is giving you are. And that's not about me. That's about you. So sometimes we divorce ourselves from our body and we just forget or just don't know what is this, because we put other people in that place of, you know better than me. And then we hand over our authority, and before we know it, we don't know what's going on with ourselves anymore. So hopefully this class is going to help encourage you to bring you back, but I'm also going to answer any questions you have with more questions, which sucks. Everybody hates that. You didn't answer my question, because I'm not the authority. I'm here to try and help you get back to being your own authority. And it's very different from what a lot of people experience out there. So if it's really odd how I run class, it's going to stay that way, but I hope it's going to be fun along the way. Does anybody have any questions before we get started? Anything that they came to class with? Like, I don't know why I'm here, but somebody said this is good. Right? No, nobody? You know, you're here for posture. Is that it? Okay, posture. And everybody can fix their posture, right? So the other thing that I have to go over, everybody has to be cleared by their doctor. So if something doesn't feel right, or you know that maybe you haven't worked out in a while, this is an exercise class. So the heart rate's going to go up. And if you're not comfortable with that, and if something happens, let me know and I'll go get somebody and we'll address the situation. Okay. All right. Now, pictures. Hi, Barbara. Good to see you. This, in a perfect world, is what your body should look like when you stand without forcing it to do that. I'm going to walk around for everybody to see. So you kind of get the idea. This is our posture perfect dude. God, I wish I married him, right? looking fine. Good to see you. Good to see you too, Gloria. Everybody kind of getting the idea here? So if you keep this image in the back of your mind, from the side, your shoulder should be in line with your ear, should be in line with your knee, should be in line with your ankle. And then when you turn to the other side, it should be the same thing. And then when you get your shot from the front, your feet should be pointed straight ahead, your knees should be pointed straight ahead. You should look pretty even, just like your car should look pretty even. But how many of you have seen those cars and young kids drive around sometimes? And the wheels are like, and the car's all squatted and the wheels aren't pointed in the right direction. Everybody recognize that? And your eyes immediately recognize that because you go, whoa, that's off balance. Yes, that's it. I love, she's pushing me along here. So about the young ones that drive like this. That's another, oh, I love that. Or how about the older guys who have the really thick wallets in their back pocket and they drive with their hip elevated for decades. There's another one. It's not like driving like this is a bad thing, but the problem comes when your body can't get back to neutral. When you find yourself walking every time you go up the stairs, it's the same leg going up. Not a bad thing, but your body just doesn't like using the other leg. And after a while, it can't use it without pain, or it can't use it at all, because your body is memorizing a pattern. That's what it does. I'm going to have you guys get up and assess, and then we're going to do some work because I can yak at your face and also save some time by sticking you in an exercise while I yak. Yeah, so I don't want to waste time by talking to you guys. So we're just going to stand up. Even though I have my shoes on, the best way to take this class actually is with your shoes off. So if you're comfortable doing that, go ahead and take them off. So what we're going to do is just assess. Don't try to fix anything, but I want you to just feel where you are today. Sometimes I just kind of march in place just so that I'm not purposely fixing anything, and just stand. Notice, am I leaning more in the front, more in the back, more to the left, more to the right? Maybe I can't tell. And sometimes when I can't tell, I'll bring my ankles and feet together. And now I can really tell. In fact, I start to sway. And my swaying, but notice the direction of your swaying. Is it forward, back, left, right, maybe in a circle? Whatever's going on, whatever you notice, this is going to be our baseline. Because we're going to come back to this and we're going to see, okay, what changed? Because there's no way nothing's going to change after we do work. It's going to change. It could be worse or it could be better. A couple of functional tests. The young kids throw functional around all the time. They use this word. They don't know what the heck it means. I'll explain to you what functional actually means. It's your ability or a thing's ability to do the work it was designed to do, period. You stick your key in your car, you start it, nothing happened. It's not functioning. So that's all we're going to do is test what's happening. And are the right muscles doing their job, or are they giving it to the other muscles to do another job? Compensation. I want you to pick one knee up towards your chest, bring it up about hip height. It doesn't matter which leg. And I let you guys do that first because I don't want you to mimic what I do. There's a psychology of, oh, I'm going to do exactly what the instructor does. And just notice, this is functional test. We're feeling, okay, where we're at. And then put it down and go for the other one. And then go ahead and put it down. Usually the leg you picked up first, that leg that was down, that's the one that's a little bit more, not dominant, but the one you lean most of your weight in most of the time. Did you notice the second time you picked up your leg, it felt worse or better? Where'd you go? How many did better? What, better, worse, worse? Say, you've been working with me, ladies, so you're pretty balanced. One more functional test. We're just going to bend over to touch our toes in that direction. You don't have to touch them. Yep. And just notice, okay, what do you feel? Remember, this isn't me. This is you. I don't live in your body. Can you even touch your toes? Does the back of one knee hurt? Is it tighter on one side than the other? Do you notice you actually have to have a slight bend in your knees to get some ease? It's not about touching your toes. It's just about let's sense where we're at so that when we do our exercises, we come back, something's going to change. We'll notice it. Come on up. That's it for your assessment. What the heck are we going to do today? Does anybody have any input as far as what's been helping them over the years and what they enjoy as a first exercise? Yeah.
I love my static backs.
Static back. Does anybody have a problem laying down on their back on the floor? Everybody's good? Okay. I will give some different modifications for those of you that cannot, or those of you that won't. So we're going to lay down on your back and you're going to put your legs up on top of your chair. Now, this is really interesting because some of you have shorter thigh lengths than others and the chair height does not change. So I'd like you guys to come as close to 90 degrees as you can. You guys at home, you might be putting your legs up on top of a chair. You might be using an ottoman. You might be using that stupid thing that you've seen me over the years use, that $130 piece of foam. Right. So we want to get the legs trapped at 90-degree angles. If you're not sure what the heck that means, I want you to look at me and see how I have my knees stacked up on top of my hips. So if that is not happening for you at home or even out in the audience, which I'll check, you can put some pillows underneath you or take some pillows out from underneath you. The only people that are going to be putting any pillow underneath their head are people that are so rounded in their upper back that their face is like looking behind them. And that happens. So I'll just demonstrate. If I'm so rounded, I've had some people, their head can't hit the floor. So I have to put something underneath them to hold their face level because we're supposed to relax in this move. Does this look like it would feel relaxing? Yeah, it should feel relaxing. There is work going on in this move, believe it or not. It's not relaxing to everybody. There's a small percentage of people it's not relaxing to. And people who are dealing with some vertigo issues sometimes know that they cannot even get into this position. So we'll just do something different. I have hundreds of different exercises to pick from. Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, someone gave me a, we can't do anything with those because that's, yeah. Yeah. So you can put something over your face, but the lights, I cannot adjust. They're at a, yeah. They're at the level that they're going to be at. They're as low as they can go without being off. So off has been a big no-no, even though I've been doing it. Man, you sound just like me. That is something that I would so totally say. Absolutely. Yes. You guys get where I'm going with that. So let me explain to you guys, and I know you guys in TV land, I'm not up there anymore for you to see, but you're laying on the floor. I'll give you cues via my words. The perfect place for your hands, let's figure that out. You're going to turn your palms up, and I'd like you to just feel what your shoulders do as you bring your arms next to your body. Bring them as close as you can to your body, almost touching, and you feel what your shoulders are doing with your palms up. And now I want you to bring your arms out slowly, keep them on the floor, and just feel what your shoulders do as you bring the arms out. Right, they go back, right. So if we're trying to address the body's twists and turns and try and make it more even using gravity, where do you think you'd want your arms to be? Right, more, she's already doing it. So she doesn't answer with her words, she kind of does it with her body, and I totally understand that. She brings her arms out. So probably about at like a 45-degree angle is where you want them, but you don't want the shoulders to start popping up off the floor. What we're going after in this move is to get gravity to kind of draw our body back down into the floor. You feel that? Okay. Sorry about those lights. There's a lot I could do, but a tarp. All right. Tarp right off my boat.
This is an exercise?
Yeah, good one. This is an exercise. I want everyone to thank Pat for recommending this as the first exercise. This is an exercise?
I thought you said you were going to scare them.
It's coming. I know. Why wouldn't people want to hang out with me? This is awesome. We're going to stay here for about 2 minutes more. Usually this move takes about 5 minutes in order to get some sort of adjustment in most bodies. If not, maybe 10 minutes, but I usually don't go longer than 10. If we hit 10 minutes and there's no adjustment happening to the body that's in front of me, I give them another exercise. This one ain't working. But like Linda said, this is an exercise. I want you guys to answer that question by telling me what this move might be doing to your body to help it. What? Go. Straightening your spine. Hold that in the back of your mind. Keep that thought, the words that you use, straightening your spine. Anybody else? Ooh, she's been with me a while. The shoulders go where they belong. Good words, right? Anybody else? Relaxing the muscles. Some, yes. Anybody else got any input? She's been with me a while too. Your hips realign, or she said align, your hips align. Yes, this is going to relax some muscles, but it's also going to turn other muscles on. That's why I said some people don't like this move, because it is a working move. The hip flexors are working here. They have to work here. I'm forcing them to work here. Even though you don't really feel it, This is a pretty passive move, but there is work. And when you said straightening your spine, when I looked at my handsome man here, God, please marry me. I looked at him. He doesn't have a pin straight spine. We don't want a pin straight spine. We want an S curve, right? Your spine's supposed to have an S curve. So a lot of these moves, even though we're laying on the floor, our body is not going to go pin straight in 5 minutes, and we don't want it to. We're going to try to bring it back to its original design so that it will function and hold that original design. Making sense? Okay. What should we do next, Pat? Forget Pat. You already did the first one. Somebody else, pick the next move. What did someone say? Arms overhead. Sure, let's do pullovers. Let's do pullovers. Put your arms straight up towards the ceiling. We're still in the static back position. Palms together, interlace your fingers, keep your elbows straight. This is the hard part. Keep your elbows straight. Does everybody see straight elbows, or as straight as you can make them? Keep them there. Drop your palms backwards overhead, if you can, all the way to the floor. But don't bend your elbows, and bring your fists back over your chest. It's back and forth, kind of like a big flossing motion. Overhead and back. Excellent. I see everybody on the video at home, and I'm going to watch you closely. Backwards and overhead. Good. Hi, Lauren. Cute little cat. Back and overhead. Okay, Marianne, I am catching a little bit of bend in your elbows. Now, if you're feeling pain, definitely keep them bent. So I'm not going to force you to do anything. But the point is, if your elbows are bending or starting to bend as you're not noticing them going backwards overhead, that's a shoulder that doesn't want to do its work. So the point of this move is to reteach your shoulders how to work. Don't take it into that place of pain. But just like when I was rehabbing my shoulder, you hit this point, you're like, okay, that's as far as I'm going today. And that's fine. Go halfway if the pain or tightness starts there. Because we're going to be here for at least 2 minutes or so, usually 30 reps, going back and forth. And the body is going to talk to the hips and tell it to change. You don't have to pull all the way to your crotch either. I used to do that too. You just have to go right over your chest. Good. Pause right there. Lock out your elbows. Good. Now try to go through using that. I know it might be a little bit more uncomfortable. Try. And again, if any advice I give you or any input I give you sucks and this ain't working for you, don't do it. There's a couple of you doing only one arm or just not doing the move at all because it's not really helping. You're getting the signal, the signal of the bad pain. So don't do it. You can stay in this static back, just like I said, for a good 10 minutes. You're okay. Excellent. Everybody on? Rose looking good. Try to keep your elbows nice and straight, my dear. What is this move doing? What's it helping? After I just told you, right? Does everybody feel some of this going down their back into their hips as they go overhead and backwards? Do you think this is a hip move? Ooh, tough question, right? It is, because your shoulders are talking to your hips and your hips are talking to your shoulders. I'm actually helping your hips realign themselves by moving through your shoulders, and your hips are helping your shoulders stay even by staying flat on the floor. A few more of these, and then we're going to go into, I guess, some hip moves. So if you don't have your block nearby, I'm going to come by and kick it so you can grab it. These are really, really simple moves. And they're nice and easy. And oh, this is such a delightful class. Not for long. So I'm just putting your blocks nearby so you don't have to reach too far for them. We're going to do static back knee pillow squeezes next. So for those of you that are not quite there yet, or if you're not doing the pullovers because something hurts, you can go right into knee pillow squeezing. You're welcome. You're very welcome. Good to see you. You okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Sometimes laying down on the floor for a while, if you haven't done it, it might make you feel a little bit off. So if that's happening, you can certainly get up. I'm not going to be offended if you get up or do something and, hey, I need to do this, go do it. Put the block in between your knees, no more arm stuff. You're going to put it right between your knees while we lay in the static back position, and we're going to do static back knee pillow squeezes. Only because Pat put us here to begin with, and this is all we have to go on. So it's just like Thigh Master. You put a block or your pillow, you fold up your pillow in half and you stick it in between your knees and you squeeze and release. When I've been away on, you guys have seen me over the years where I go. You go away on trips, you're in a hotel or a motel or hotel no-tell, and you take the pillow or a roll of paper towels. I've done that. Nice thick roll of paper towels. You find something, stick between your knees, squeeze, release. Try that. Try to keep your feet separate just as wide as the block. Perfect. Squeeze and release over and over. That's it. Interesting. Okay. Everybody good? Simple move, right? And sometimes it's good for you guys to come back to the basics, even though what were we doing last time we were together? We were doing triangle, and I don't know if I gave you push-ups or anything like that, but no. We'll do those. We'll get there. You don't have to squeeze with 100% of your effort either. We're going for maybe 50%, maybe even 30%, because we're going to be here for a little while. Nice catch. Happens to me all the time because I fall asleep while I do these. These are static back knee pillow squeezes. Good, everybody looks fantastic. How many moves has this been so far? 50. Maybe 50 or 42 reps that you've gone through. Okay, cool. We've gone through 3 moves. This is our 3rd move. And all the while you've been laying down on this nice flat floor. So your body cannot compensate by twisting. So that's one thing that I'm going for here, is to get any twists out of your body by laying you on the floor, because Pat recommended it. Everybody seems to like static back right off the bat. Now, where you were feeling it before, is that where you're still feeling it? So we're on both now instead of one? Okay, that's better. How many of you were just feeling one leg do something and the other one not quite coming along? Yeah. Is that changing? In a perfect world, should you be feeling an even balance as far as effort and what muscles we're recruiting? Yes. Simply put, yes, yes. So in a therapy session, I might have you stay here until the muscles finally start recruiting themselves. It has happened. But in a class setting, I can't always do that. Now, Linda, still feeling it on the outside? Huh. Nothing in here? So where's the move coming from? What muscles are engaging it? What do you got? On the outside. Huh. Thigh Master, right? Thank you, Thigh Master. Should you be feeling this on the outside of your hip, on your butt, when you do this inside squeeze? Yes? Only because Linda's saying yes. Yes? Where do you guys feel it? Inside, groin. Yes. Linda, sorry, you're screwed up. Your muscles are so out of whack, you can't. But that's telling us what muscles she's using and which muscles are not recruiting themselves. So when we go in, the muscles that should be pulling in is right here, right in the groin, inner thigh, iliopsoas. All of that area inside there should be feeling that. But we're done with this. I'd like you guys to come out of it. We're going to do some cats and dogs. So gently get yourself either to hands and knees or guide yourself up to the sitting position and sit in your chair for it. Yeah, go slowly. If you haven't been on the ground in a while and you just haven't exercised in a while, maybe give yourself a second, sit up, check it out. Okay, I'm all right. I'm all right. Even in 3 moves, granted it took us, maybe 15, 20 minutes to do, your body is going to change. So your head position is going to be changed. So you're coming back to a body that's very different than what we did before. So we're going to do cats and dogs. If you're okay on hands and knees, I'll demonstrate. Knees under hips, hands under shoulders. I'm just taking my back through these different arches and my head is following back and forth. That's our cats and dogs. This can get done in a chair, no problem. So some of you have some shoulder issues, elbow issues, wrist issues, hand issues. If that bothers you, sit in a chair and do cats and dogs. Sure. Or get creative. Some of you guys come up with some weird exercises that are helpful. Back and forth. When you do your cats and dogs, you'd like to initiate and engage from your hips. So let the hip be the starting force and the head be the following force. Back and forth, back and forth. Good, like an angry cat. Halloween's coming around the corner. You catch this in yoga all the time, cats and cows. We call it cats and dogs because cats and cows doesn't make any sense. If you guys are okay after about 10 of those, beautiful over there, Lynn. You make your way to the standing position and you're going to reassess yourselves again. Better, Gloria. Good. Slow it down and let your head complete the movement. 10 of these is enough, but if you guys feel like, oh, I want to do 20, that's cool too. Yeah, Gloria's liking it. That's why I'm like, good job, Gloria. She's enjoying that. Good. Work it. I would say that's really good for you too, because I'm watching how you're walking and that one hip is so off. When you kneel down, it traps the hips and pelvis. You're trapped in a new way, very differently than when you're on the floor. I can still do this if I'm on the floor, but I can't do it when I'm kneeling. So keep going. For the rest of you got a half an hour. Keep going. Reassess yourselves. When you're okay to get up, do what you did before. So do that. Okay, what does this feel like now? And then the feet together. Remember which direction you were spinning. Hopefully you're not spinning anymore. Linda, keep going with that, but I want you to keep your elbows straight when you do it. Try to get that motion going with elbows straight. I know it's hard. We'll get it. There were 2 exercises that we did too, 2 functional tests. One was picking your knee up to your hip, and the other one was the forward fold. So check it out now. Do the same thing you did before and notice what's different. You can tell all the yogis they're doing their Vrikshasana. Namaste. You might feel worse, but the majority of you will probably feel, what are your words? Improved? Do you forward fold? Your hands are the same distance. Okay, so 1 or 2 or all of those 3 moves have adjusted your shoulders. So those are moves that you might want to take home. Forward fold, anybody try that? Test that? So Linda, how long does it take to get the body to change? I'm asking that because she asked that in the beginning. Like that, really, like that. So it doesn't take that long. So if some of you came in here, I don't know what your mental states were, hopelessness, maybe, nobody came in here in a wheelchair this time, but sometimes you get that. And so this is at least the hope factor of, that was fast. Good. Want to do some hard stuff? Okay. What are we going to do for hard stuff? Anybody? Oh. Anyone?
I thought this was the hard stuff.
Of course, Linda. Okay. We got a big class. Can we use wall? You know what? I don't think we can do that one today. We'll skip that one. I wanted to do chest openers. We'll do that on a day where you guys decide this isn't for you anymore and we only have 2 people. We'll do that on a day. Today, let's do pigeon-toed and we'll do pigeon-toed work. So I want you to, not for you. Not for you. Remember what we went over. Remember, every time we kind of do that, that inflames. I know you want to try it. Better for you to just go here for now. I'd rather just straight. That doesn't mean out. That means straight. So I'd rather start testing you doing stuff like this on the floor first without load to see where your body has ended up now and go, you know what? This is better now before I throw you into hard internal rotation. So we'll do that gradually, but don't go internal. This is just by what we know how her body responds. She told me, her body told me, so I'm remembering that one's not for you. Everybody else okay here? And if you're not, you're new. This might not be for you either. Does something hurt? Does something feel like the red lights are going off? No? Okay, good. Knees straight. You don't have to go hard internal, but I do want the hips to do this, not the feet and not your sneakers. So we want the hips to do it. Try to keep them as even as you can. I don't care how internal you go. And let everything else relax. Hang out here for a couple minutes. Good, Marianne, you okay? Okay. If there's any pain that pops up, turn your feet straight. Yeah, I'm using your wall. Nicely new painted. What do you guys feel? Burn like the nerve burn? Right. Turn your feet out. Turn your feet out. So you can sit down too if you need to, Gloria. So you were saying, Mary? Tightness in the thighs? Anybody feel a chain reaction moving up higher than that? Anybody here? Both cheeks? Well, something's changing. Something's changing. Usually there's just one on you because you're off balance. So whenever you have one-sided sensations, that's one side doing something that the other side should be doing, or vice versa. Should be balanced. So even if we could, absolutely get out. No, you do. No, that happens a lot. That happens a lot. You don't have to feel like, oh my God, this is hard work, because it's really not, and it shouldn't be hard work. But as you stand here for the 2-3 minutes that you've been standing here, there's a reaction that should be going on through the body. And depending on if your posture is here or not, I'm now forcing it to come here just by asking you to do this move. And we're locking out the knees, which is going to force it all to come to the hips and pelvis, therefore in the spine, and therefore change the position of the shoulders and your head. That's why I asked, does anybody feel any of this in the lower back finally? So the longer you stay here, that for me, this is usually a 4 to 6 minute long move. For other people, maybe 2 minutes. Me, 4 to 6. And this is stuff you only find out. That's coming. That's coming. That's my next move. This move is not easy. Just from the balance perspective. We're going to stay in this position. You're going to either put your hands on your butt or put your hands on your lower back and squeeze your elbows together. Now you're going to forward fold up to 45 degrees, but I don't want your forward fold to end up looking like this. It's not really going to, because I've got this going on with you. You want to try to go from the hips. So it's kind of got flatness to it, but we're keeping an S curve in the spine. Stay there for 12 minutes. Oh, just 1 minute if you can hack it. 1 minute. So keep squeezing your elbows together while you're doing this. This is a forward fold with the internal rotation from both of your hips. You should feel like, oh, okay, I might be getting out of breath here if this is the first time I've been touching this one. Elbows keep squeezing together. You got 30 more seconds. And I see one of you adjusting this for you. I didn't even think about that. Just touching the hands in a straight line behind them. You could do that, sure. Point of this is to try to get the shoulders to come back and down while we take the folds. There's a lot going on. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come on out. Reassess. Go for it. So march in place. Do your thing. Okay, now what's going on? Did those moves make me worse? Did those moves make me better? Am I more stable? Do I feel better? Do I want to leave this class? You can leave early. It's okay. I got stuff to do. Starbucks is calling. Check it out. So am I leaning forward and backward? What do I feel? Okay, I can't sense anything. I can't feel anything. Let me put the feet together. And now what have I got going on? What's that, sir? Is she single? Yes. He wants your number. So did you check that out? Did you pick up one leg, pick up the other leg, see what that did? Those of you that are new, this is going to be enlightening.
Good.
Feel better? Okay, good. So now, probably a good idea till the next time we meet for you guys to do those moves. If you're like, wow, this made me better, good. Those are nice, simple moves that you can do at home. Let's go harder. Because why not? Because why not? I forgot there was a new class today, and I came here with some really, really hard stuff. Unfortunately, we're not going to do that until next week. Why not? So I'll give you some harder stuff. We're going to give you some mountain climbers. We'll finish out with some nice twisties and some good stuff towards the end. But I want to kind of get the stronger stuff out of the way. Let's do it. Mountain climbers. I don't want to hear anybody go, oh my God, because I will show you modifications. But a perfect mountain climber isn't like what the kids do in the gym, and they do things like, ever see people do that? So we do a little different style because I want your hips to remember what they're supposed to do. So the mountain climber, when you come into it, is more here. And from the front, I want you to look. I'm trying to keep my knee in line with my hip so it doesn't do this. If you're 9 months pregnant, you know, it's going to be different, but you're not going to be doing mountain climbers with me. But we're trying to stay here when we do them. So if you were to modify your mountain climber, you don't have to do it on the floor. You could do it on the wall. You could do it on the chair. You could even step, 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 step. In fact, that's very similar to when I've done Spider-Mans with you guys, isn't it? So when we do the Spider-Man on the floor, step and back, step and back. Yes, I'm stepping outside the leg, but you get the idea. So now you can see how we can modify. Lean on something or get on the floor. What do you guys want to do? So if you're going to lean on your chair, either put it up against the wall or put it on your mat so it doesn't slide. And of course, if you're going to be going left, right, left, right, left, right, that chair is probably going to move. So be mindful of that. And if you're modifying, go ahead and go easy. I'm going to do it just for 20 reps. You guys do it for whatever the heck you want to. I showed you a slow version, a nice controlled version, and I showed you a more difficult version. Your choice. Go for 20. And I'm not timing you. You do what you can. Good. Oh, this keeps falling out. I'm just going to put it down.
This is a hard one, Ken.
Yes, it is. Get into the hip. Into the hip. Looks cool, Michael Jackson. But I want you to get into hip. So step, bend, get into that hip. Do it over. Good, that's it. Now she's got it. Yeah. Good for who? Those are mountain climbers. Nice, Carol. Nice and in line. Good. So when you get the idea that I'm going for is to separate both hips. Now, wow. Good. Never gave that to a first timer. Now you got it. Good. How do you feel? Excellent. No fans for you, I'm sorry. But I'm your biggest fan. I'm your biggest. Fantastic. Let's take it back down to the floor. We're going to do cats and dogs and then take it to the floor. Or you can sit on your chair and do your cats and dogs. We're going to work on better cats and dogs for you. Either on the chair or on hands and knees, cats and dogs. Go for 10. They look better for you on the chair than they do on the floor.
Pushing over.
No, you're doing great. Good. Try to engage and initiate from here. Let your head finish. Try to memorize that pattern so that when you hit the floor, it looks the same. When you hit the floor, it's different. Your head can't sync up and your head goes the opposite way. So you'll get it here. Beautiful. Beautiful. Remember, even if you screw these moves up and you do it quote unquote wrong, you're still giving your body stimulus and it's going to make a change. I'm going to take you guys down to the floor. We're going to finish some nice easy ones like hip crossover stretch, maybe upper spinal floor twist. And we'll finish out there. Hey, how about a hip crossover stretch? You can do this sitting in a chair. Definitely, I'll give you a modification. Everybody else, we're going to hit the floor. It looks like this. This position is what I call the hook lying position because your legs look like the hook. I'm going to take the arms out to the sides and put the palms down. I'm going to cross my right ankle to my left knee. You can see you can still do this in a chair. No problem. What I'm going to do here is just twist through my lower back, but I'm not letting my left leg slide. Newbies, you're going to slide your leg in order to cheat. I don't like cheaters. No, but your body's going to do it without you even thinking about it. So be mindful of it beforehand. Don't let that foot slide. Just twist. Maybe you'll hit the ground, maybe you won't. But if you don't hit the ground, no big deal. Just hang out where it feels tight and just let it do what it's got to do. And you're going to hang out there for 1 minute. If you're doing this in a chair, you got the ankle over your knee, whatever, you're just going to twist your body, your upper body to the side instead. Twist and hold. Twist and hold. I'm seeing some of you go back and forth, back and forth. Now that's okay if you're feeling pain and you have to keep coming out of it because it hurts, then maybe skip the move. But this is a move where you get into it and you just hang out there. Get in and hang out. Don't reach with your toes. The whole foot should be flat on the floor eventually. So don't try to reach with your toes. That's going to actually cause you to start sliding the leg and start compensating. So if it ain't beautiful. So if it ain't working and you're not hitting the floor and you feel like you need some help, sure, you can put a block underneath your foot or underneath your knee to just kind of give you that extra support. Eventually, your left knee, the whole left leg, and your right foot is going to be on the floor. Now, there's something that I didn't tell you. The right knee, I'd also like you to point it up towards the sky. So you're going to draw that knee away from you, an outward rotation. Remember how we stood pigeon-toed before? You're going to do the opposite of that. You're going to draw the hip out and draw the knee away from you while you stay in this move. 5 more seconds. So you just don't want that top leg to kind of be flopping. Ready to switch? This is hip crossover stretch, everybody. I'm going to do the other side. Make sure your setup is nice and clean. So you start in the hook lying position. Now you're going to put your right ankle to your left knee. Twist slowly to the left. So if you have the right foot on top, you're going to twist to your left. If you have the left foot on top, you're going to twist to your right. Good, I saw that. So somebody slid their foot and then they walked it back over because they noticed, I'm starting to slide. What the heck is this move doing as far as your posture goes? What are we trying to teach the body to do right now in layman's terms? Should your body be able to twist? Are you reteaching your pelvis to twist? Your spine to twist? You're noticing that it's harder on one side than the other side, and it shouldn't be? Right. So you're reteaching the tissues how to engage. But the only way we could do that is by keeping as close to the proper form as you can. So in the back of my mind, I'm always thinking, 90-degree angles, 90-degree, come on out, 90-degree angles, 90-degree angles. Where can I be clean and try to line up my joints and then ask my muscles and tissues, remember, remember, remember. Good, upper spinal floor twist, because why not? This one's going to suck for those of you who have shoulder problems. So the alternative is to leave your hand resting on your ribs instead of opening the arm and applying all that leverage. Or you could skip it, or you can rest the arm on the chair. So upper spinal floor twist is similar to what we just did. It's another twisting move, but instead now we're trying to hold the hips and the legs in place. Don't let them slide this time. Your shoulders couldn't slide before because they were laying on the floor. Now that we're laying on our side, the legs can totally compensate and you can cheat, and I don't want you to. So keep the legs together, hold your hand on top of the legs, hold the knees together, don't let them move. Top arm is going to open up like a book, and you're going to go mentally, oh, I want to hit the floor. Cheat. You see what I just did with my legs? Right. Keep your legs in place. Your arm's probably going to hang out. You're going to feel an intense stretch. If you're okay with that, hang out there. That's upper spinal floor twist. If it's terribly hard, you can rest your hand on your ribs or rest your arm on a chair behind you. You can do that. I'm coming around. Got you covered. Are you okay to lay completely on your side?
On my side,
Mhm. Yeah, on your side. So pick a side, lay completely on your side, shoulders, everything, like a baby, like you're sleeping like a baby. Perfect. That's it. It's right around. This is going to make it easier. This is going to help to hold your legs together and give you some awareness. There you go. Okay, so if you need to, you can hang on to that. This arm is going to open like a book all the way towards the floor. That's it. Feel the stretch. Hang out. That's the move. 10 seconds. In a perfect world, where should your arm be? On the floor, right. But you're not cheating to get it there, are you? Right, right. Good for you. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, other side. Eventually it will get there. You know what? Maybe it'll never get there. Are you okay with that? Upper spinal floor twist. That's what this one's called. So we're doing a lot of one-sided moves, 2 of them in a row, actually. So we're going to do a bilateral move after this. Timer's going. Is your arm okay?
Yeah.
Open it like a book that way. Arm that way. Keep going. Beautiful. Feel a little different?
Yep.
That's it. This may make it easier as well. So you want to think like 90 degrees. Does that help? Better? So the further out we can put the legs, the more that'll add like that extra weight. So that leverage isn't pulling your legs off. Doing great. 20 seconds. Everybody okay? Okay. Good. You all right, Carol? This is a little different than in yoga. Are your legs okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Put your knees together. Your shoulders okay? Okay, knees together, stack them. Come on out, everybody. Palm up. Yes, ma'am. And this direction. Feel a little different?
Yeah.
Yeah, big difference, right? I can tell the yogis. Okay, come on out. We're going to do pelvic tilts, which is another version of cats and dogs, except it's just on your pelvis, and then we'll stand on up and do some other stuff. So pelvic tilts is laying in the hook lying position. Sorry, there's so many chairs in the way for some of you, but the same chord we were just doing, except we're just doing the pelvis. Cats and dogs are going back and forth, but my shoulders can't do all that because they're on the floor. So this is an alternative. Get her done. I'm going to finish you out with Denise's favorite static extension position. Kidding. Give you something else. Denise gets something else. Everybody else has to deal with static extension position. You all right? Just a little hot.
No, yeah, I'm always hot.
Okay. She's looking for a date, maybe. Remember, pelvic tilts, it's not a bridge. We're just getting the pelvis to go through its range of motion forward and backward. That's all it is. And then I'm going to flip you over to hands and knees. We're going to do static extension position. If you don't want to do static extension position, you can go ahead and stand up and go for pigeon-toed, and you can finish out there. And then I'm probably going to talk in your face and ask everybody if they'll ever come back. And then we'll finish up. What's too hard today? The static extension position is similar to our cats and dogs setup. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Then we're going to put the palms 6 inches forward. Now, ladies, I know guys like to tell you, yes, that's 6 inches. It's not. So 6 inches, we're going to put the palm where the fingertips are. It's such a small amount right here, 6 inches. So I just put my palm where my fingertips are. That's it. And now I move my shoulders forward so that they're back in line with the wrist. That's it. All I did was get my hips further forward than my knees. Now think like sway back horse. Lauren, be easy on this one if you're doing it, or get on the floor and do, you could do a frog. We want the shoulders to come back and down, the head to drop, and you're back to go into sway back. That's it. So for people like me and Lauren, we have a tendency to overdo it right here. We got like suitcase back. So when you do static extension position, it's not about us, okay, let's do more. No, it's about just getting the shoulders back and teaching the hips how to load. That's it. So some of you are doing this in elbows, which is excellent. You guys have been here long enough to know that. And you just hang there. You just hang there. Anybody else? You don't like this move? That's okay. You could stand up and do pigeon-toed. Good. We're going to hang out for 1 more minute. This is a 2-minute long move. Knees should be separate, so they should be hip distance. I was gonna say, Marie, I'm like, that is a really, really long move. Yeah, okay, if you liked it. That was a really far distance between your knees and your elbows.
Is that a good thing?
You said it felt good, so go for it. When I do it, I don't go quite that far, but it's all right. 30 more seconds, everybody. So you want to think like that sway back horse. Both hands are underneath your shoulders, best you can. And if you can't do this move, standing pigeon-toed is okay. Better that than to turn yourself into this lopsided, oh, I can't do the one shoulder. Do something different. It's okay. 10 more seconds. Time, come on out. We got 4 minutes left in class, and I'm going to use that time to ask you guys to either reassess yourselves, stand up, do all that stupid stuff we did before. You don't have to tell me if you're not going to be back. Just make sure you tell the library, just so that the waiting people can come in. But now's your time to let me know if you got any questions, any concerns, any stuff you want to tell me about. You guys at home, we are still recording, so I can say goodbye for now and then allow you guys to unmute yourselves, and then you could talk to me freely and not be recorded. So I'll see you guys next week, and I guess we could quit the recording so you guys can answer me if you want to.